Welcome to Insurance Agent Training every single Monday, 2 o'clock, just like clockwork, consistent, week in and week out. I preach that. I spoke at 2 different conferences in the last couple months. Insurance News Net in Chicago, also 8% Nation in Nashville. Hope you guys were there. And both conferences, I spoke about consistent carrying content and the importance of putting out consistent content. And that's something that we do here quite well. Because why? Because it's important and people care that you are consistent. When you say you're going to do something, you've got to do it. I personally feel like something to just kind of open up real quick. Professionally, I feel like I do a really good job of being disciplined and doing what I say I'm going to do. But personally, since college, had not worked out for 4 consecutive weeks for 5.5 years. Not for the last 5.5, 6 years. I hadn't consistently worked out every day. I can now say that I just completed day 30 this morning, a little over 4 weeks and 2 days, because I'm getting serious. Because when I preach something, I don't want to be a hypocrite. When I say that you should do something, I want to be able to say that I can do it. I want to be disciplined. If I talk about personal development, self-improvement, having self-discipline, and doing what you say you're going to do, I can't say that stuff if that isn't me. When I wrote down my goals this morning, I thought about how I can help agents even more. And there's little things that I do in my life that I don't talk about, or that agents don't know, or that I forget to share. And one of the big things, and one of the big reasons you're going to want to watch today, I'm going to give you a couple of updates. But today, I'm going to share one thing that I do that has helped me over the phone a lot. And I don't care whether it's I don't care whether you're selling a product, whether you're selling insurance, whether you're doing service or support. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm a big believer that when you're on the phone, this is a little life hack. For those that don't know this, I'm telling you, you apply it, you'll see drastic results. Our sales team uses it, and that's why when you talk to our sales team and you try to buy leads, you end up buying leads. You have to finish with a question every time you say anything at all. Ever. So, for instance, that's one of the biggest reasons I added that and that I do it. I didn't even notice I was doing it, but our sales guys came to me one day, they're like, dude, man, you always finish with a question. Because I want to be in control. Because I want to move from point A to point B. Because the goal of a call is to eliminate objections and end up closing. So by doing that, I have a better chance of keeping control of the call, keeping it flowing, not ever getting objections, and actually closing a sale. But most agents, most salespeople have the gift of gab. They talk way too much. We practice and role play with our sales team every single morning, and we talk about not talking too much. We talk about, hey, if you've spoke for 15, 20 seconds and you haven't stopped and they aren't speaking, you need to shut up and ask a question. Because what happens is, and I even notice it too when I'm in the middle of phone sales, if I start to sell and I pitch something and I don't end with a question, same thing with overcoming objections. What happens? If I don't finish with a question every time I ever say anything over the phone, what happens? They reassume control of the call. They say, you know what? Hey, you've been real nice. Thanks so much for sharing. I probably should. I just can't afford it. Do me a favor. Call me back next month, next year, a couple of weeks from now. That's the reason that you get objections like that. That's the reason why people tell you stuff like that when you're talking to them on the phone, and why I rarely get those things, because I always finish with a question. I don't believe in calling a lead and ever saying anything at all unless I finish with a what? A question. I don't believe in taking a live transfer or calling a lead and selling over the phone at all, that if I say anything, I have to finish with a question. I don't believe in anything at all sales-wise that if I'm not asking questions, fact-finding, gaining research, and listening to them, if I'm not asking questions, then guess what? They are going to be in control. I'm talking too much because I'm not listening. That's the biggest thing that salespeople don't understand. If you can listen more than you speak, you will be a great salesperson. What I look for, a big secret, I never even shared this. The biggest secret that I look for when I'm interviewing salespeople is I ask open-ended, quick questions to let them talk. I want to see how much they like to talk. And if they like to talk a lot, I will very rarely hire them. That's a little secret. I do interviews every single day, whether it's locally, over the phone, whatever. We're doing Derek's actually in there doing a bunch of phone interviews right now. I do not hire someone if they talk too much. If you think about our marketing team, Dylan, the dude barely talks. Matt, barely talks. Duker, doesn't talk a lot. Bailey, talks less than anyone in the building. Guess what? When you don't talk a lot, it's easier for you to stay focused and get work done, or to hit your target, or to get where you want to be. That's the biggest thing. If you can learn anything from any show I've ever done, the couple things that I do and I believe work, I do not speak, especially over the phone, without finishing with a question. Because I'm assuming every step of the way that they're going to be doing this, and I'm also assuming every step of the way by what I say. Hey, you know what? I'm assuming that Wednesday will work, or mornings or afternoons better. Every step of the way, it's assuming, it's finishing with a question, and it's shutting up and letting people talk. The worst salespeople are the ones that like to talk. And that's an old adage. That's like a super myth when it comes to sales. Hey, dude, I can talk. I got the gift of gab. I'm going to be amazing. I've had people that I know that are like, hey, dude, I can talk. I'll be a great insurance salesperson. I'm sorry to tell you, if you like to talk, you're going to suck. If you like to talk, you're going to fail. And if you like to talk, it's never going to work. The 92%ers, those people love to talk. Only 8% of agents succeed, and typically the ones that succeed are the ones that don't talk a lot and that are silent but deadly. They ask questions. They ask a question every time they say something. They listen. They're genuinely interested. They care about their prospect. And they're silent but deadly because they assume every step of the way, and they always expect someone. They never expect objections. They always expect that if they get objections, they're going to be able to overcome them easily. They expect that when they give people options that they're going to pick. They believe in listening and asking questions. That's a couple big hacks. Especially tricks for the phone, ask a question no matter what you say. And it's hard. It'll take some getting used to. I role play with Danny. He's moving to our sales team this morning. I role with him I role played and talked to him for like 30 minutes. And I preached it in him. I'm like, dude, it's all about asking questions. Don't speak without asking a question. Then you're in control. It's a hard thing to get used to. It's a hard trick, hard hack to implement. But I'm telling you what, it's a part of my DNA, and it can be a part of yours if you ask questions. The other thing is, when I do interviews, that's the one thing I look for. I want to get people talking. I want to see how much they like to talk. And sometimes they like to talk way too much. I would say that's one of the biggest reasons I've actually fortunately been successful. Dude, I don't talk as much as most salespeople. Yeah, I can rattle on and do a 30-minute video. But dude, I tried to do a radio show on my own like a year ago. I couldn't do it. I don't talk enough. I can't sit there and talk for a solid hour, especially about a topic that's not insurance. It's just not possible. So that's one of the biggest things that I want to impress upon you today is that when you are selling or setting appointments or using the telephone, I need you to finish every sentence or phrase with a question. And I also don't want you to repeat yourself. Most people will say, you know what? You know, the leads will come in your area. They're locally targeted. You know, they're close to you. You get to choose where they come. You know, and before you know it, they've said like 6 things that all mean the same thing, and it's a wasted breath and wasted words. It's so easy to waste breath and words and say 6 different sentences that all mean the exact same thing. It's pointless. It's useless. Shut up and start finishing with questions, and don't talk a lot. Just don't. If if you guys aren't following along, side note, if you guys aren't following along with our 12-day Christmas giveaway, I'm giving away 10 free leads today for everyone that buys at least 25 or more. For every 25 leads you buy, I'm giving you 10 free, especially with the new inbound call feature. And we're giving away, for 12 days, we're giving away a bunch of stuff. If you guys haven't seen me in the Santa suit, you got to check out that video. Wasn't my favorite video, but everybody else loved it. What are we giving away, Matt? We're giving away leads. We're giving away tickets to 8% Nation. We just gave away a premier ticket. We're giving away
some other stuff that's not insurance related.
Some other stuff that's not insurance related. Electronics.
Yeah.
I can't say exactly. I was honestly about to. I almost said it, so I was about to mess it up. About to mess up the whole giveaway. Cody's going to screw it all up. What all have we said we're going to give away? It was a mystery box, a ticket, leads.
Yep. The first three things have been, we have chosen winners for those.
Okay.
And we are
cool.
moving on to the next one.
Cool, nice. We already had 3 winners. We already let them know. So if you aren't engaged in our Facebook, go to our Facebook page, follow our Secure Agent Mentor Facebook page. For the next 12 days, we're giving stuff away. We need you to follow us there. We need you to like our page, follow, and we need you to turn on notifications so that when we post and do a giveaway, you're one of the first ones that has a chance to grab that. We've got some big prizes coming up too in the next few days. Over 12 grand worth of prizes. Just want to give back. Also, another thing that's another side note, we just got back from Dallas, Texas, looking at venues for 8% Nation 2019. Probably going to be late summer, next year, maybe in the city that I just referenced, and the venue to be announced. So keep tabs on what we're doing. We'll be releasing some crazy holiday sales on some tickets soon, so you'll want to pay attention to 8% Nation. So in closing today, don't speak unless you ask a question, especially over the phone. Like, it's a crime if you speak without asking a question in phone sales. Just remember that. I promise it'll pay off. It's something I do, I implement, and I actually believe in. Every Monday, we've been going a dozen minutes already. Every Monday, we give you something tangible that you can use. And instead of having this big whiteboard and tons of numbers and all this crazy mess and stuff, instead of all these other things, today I'm giving you one hack, one trick, one secret that you can implement into your business right now. That's that you are supposed to ask questions every time you speak, and that the gift of gab is bad, and that you need to be asking questions and listening. So remember that when you're trying to set appointments, when you're trying to call leads, when you're trying to sell over the phone, when you're trying to sell anything or do anything or ask anything or get anything, ask questions. You'll be in control. They'll be answering your questions. They'll be talking more than you do, and I promise it'll pay off. If you haven't jumped in the giveaway, get in one of those giveaways and win some money, win some leads, win some prizes. Also, you've got to stay tuned on our YouTube and our Facebook and our Instagram for 8% Nation 2019. We're going to have some big stuff, crazy stuff going on. I can promise you, this year's event, this next year in 2019, the event will sell out. Sponsorships and speakers will sell out by the end of March because we're doing it in late summer. All right. Thanks for watching Insurance Agent Training. Go ask some questions. Go be a part of the 8%. Go succeed. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for all the likes, subscribes, comments. I love reading your comments. I read more comments than people realize. YouTube, Facebook, if you've commented, I've probably seen it. So keep that rolling. Keep that coming. Thanks for watching Insurance Agent Training. Have an incredible week. We'll see you Wednesday where we actually answer your questions live on video at 2 o'clock. Thanks, guys.